Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another amazing episode of the Pitchside podcast.
With the skipper.
What a smiley
I just love it when he said with the skipper.
Yeah.
He doesn't want the introduction from you.
The Domi.
No, him.
Oh, he doesn't?
What do you
Okay,
mean?
take it away, Mr. Mdisi.
What do you mean?
Arubatla umu introduce.
No. Kerry.
Yeah.
Ilateka speed bafanas.
And check us ho.
Okay, so ke tlo boletša ka sevenda pele ne Spedian nte. O monna a ba tshi tota gore ne sengo mo introduce ngore was the gore eni na mo introduce ndo chinya zwethu. So ntato na senya gore mo introduce because wa tseba gore no tlo senya dilo.
Okay.
So this guy, do you want you to introduce him?
Oh, I redirected to you.
Thank
okay,
you.
right.
This
All right. Hi. It's where, yeah. Dona. I know, and then yakuva. Domi, that smile tells me we're through to the semi-finals.
Yes, sir.
I love it for you.
Yeah, I love it. The club they reached the semi-finals,
Yeah.
which is something that we really worked hard for. The team deserved to be there, and I say deserve to be there because I always preach about the number of games these boys are playing. It's not easy to play for Mamelodi Sundowns, but when you play this amount of games, reward yourself with these moments of going to the semi-finals, the finals, and win it if you have that opportunity. But they can always reward themselves with this, and the performance that they give, you can't question that.
They got a tough game though.
It was
Both legs.
bruh. It was a big game.
Yeah.
And you can also tell from the body language Amachito when they were playing. You can also tell from the stress level. You can also tell from the determination. You can also tell, you just saw everything. Or like, it reminds me of what a big game is. And also the nice part is like you get to see the team that understands how to win the game. Even though things are not as free-flowing as you want them to be, even though you're playing away, you're expecting, okay, let's dominate more, let's control the tempo anymore. But Yanga didn't give us that opportunity to control the tempo, even though we had possession. But it just showed you the magnitude of the game, and it was Neglen Nevers.
Can I ask you one
League
question?
football,
Sorry,
yeah.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
What did that game remind you of
In our games.
in our games? That's a game that you didn't have a voice. But if you look at the tension that you speak about,
Yeah, all the game Chiefs.
no.
That's
When we won the league in Loftus,
Loftus, yes. A super sport game.
Super sport game.
Yeah. Because you look at also like from us, right, Klomp, you look at from us the way we're playing. The first 20 minutes, like we're trying to do the normal stuff, and those normal stuff don't come through.
Yeah.
And now you remember, Osan, these people are also human. They're as nervous as we think that they should. But also, on the other side is like, but you guys, you need to remind yourself how good you are. But also, there's another team as well that wants to prove they want to know how good they are. So it becomes one of those when emotional intelligence comes through. And I'm glad that in the second half things got a little bit better. But yet again, but also credit must also go to Younger. I think they brought the game, and they showed actually they actually do deserve to be in that space.
It's a game of Champions League. It's Champions League football and a game of consequence because you could see that everybody is there to die on their field for their team.
consequence. Yeah, you're gonna have to go through that. And I asked Tico that question deliberately because when I watched that match, it reminded me of that, and I was so anxious. Because the memories were playing in my mind while watching the match. Tico was just next to me. And I could tell Tico loved to play big games. But on that match, you can tell the tension. Like the things that we normally do, they didn't come out.
Yeah.
The Sundowns team on that night, they tried to do the simplest of the things, but they didn't come out. So it goes back to what you were speaking about, the younger team. They didn't make it easier for us.
Yeah.
But because now we understand the magnitude of this game, how big this match is. Of course, now and again, you don't want to make silly mistake. You want to play safe, quick, earlier. You want to, the simple pass that you normally get, you don't want to play it today because the match says it's a quarterfinal, we have to go to the semi-final. So, of course, the consequences out of the match, they have to be there, and they should be there because in a match of that nature, you have to go to the next stage. 100%. And the next stage says, for you to go to the next stage, you have to defend well, score goals. And of course, the other opposition team, they will do the same. They will want to stop you from doing all those things, and they will also want to score as well. So it then gives you that edge when you're watching. But as a player, you are stressed because there's little room for the errors.
I saw a stat that spoke about, this is the first time that, and this is how they put it, Mamelodi Sundowns has failed to score in a quarterfinal. And this then brings up the consistent conversation that's going on about the low block. It seems like every team is playing 5 at the back. Bakwetsi, simple terms, parking the bus. What are we doing to break through those? I mean, I heard Coach Rulani even addressing it in the press conference after the game to say, look, we tried to stretch the field wide, we tried to come inside, but sometimes it just doesn't happen because we are dealing with human beings, as you said, you know, and sometimes players then are scared to try the difficult pass or any other pass because, you know, then it also, as well as a coach, unsettles him because then he can't give you corrections because you did everything safe.
It comes back to the game itself because I don't think it's a game because even when I was watching it, like I was trying to find what's educational about this game for me as a fan. You look at how Younger played, even though it was a low block, but there's a lot of energy in it. Those are guys that were willing to die on the pitch. They covered so well. They ran. They made sure the Sundowns doesn't get the fluidity that they want. And when you play against, sometimes what we're accustomed to is teams that are playing low block, they're very slow to shift. So we control the tempo. They make a little bit of mistakes and then we're able to punish them. If you saw yesterday, that goalkeeper, they didn't have to do many saves because then they defended very well. And then normally as a team that defends so well, you just need one opportunity to be able to win the game. So it was one of those games, and I thought, like you said, it's a Champions League game. Champions League game are very different to local teams. And we can't also play similar. Every competition that we get into and play similar because we are a team to beat. So we need to always try and evolve. And also it's a question also that goes to Coach Roland as well. Now that you are up there, you're a team to beat, everybody knows your style of play, you're accessible, teams can see you week in, week out. What is it that you're doing now differently now to be able to overcome the circumstances that you may face on the game? And also, you must also understand that also, Coach Ulani in this position, it's not the well experienced, it's not the most experienced coach in this competition, being in this position. So therefore, now the chances are during the game itself, he was as emotional, he was also as anxious as the players were because it starts there and then it trickles down to top. Or sometimes it starts there, goes up, you know. So it's one of those games because you see him, Shishi's not himself, Tewoho is not himself, you know, Alenda is not himself, we control the ball now, it's all over. You know, it wasn't that game, and it comes back to what Shompo said. We've been through those games. But the reason why, Tina, in the Champions League when we played, because we didn't understand the magnitude of the semi-final and the quarterfinal. So we never got to experience what these guys are experiencing. Because remember, last season they lost in the semi-final. So they've been here before, so they don't want to lose again. So now we just needed one opportunity. So we were in the quarterfinal, semi-final, we went on to win it because we didn't understand the magnitude of those games.
And I think your Diko's right about them. Now the playing field is level. And I say that because that younger team did make it easier for us. And they defended very well. Must give credit to them. Because even in a 4+2, they still managed to
they didn't find any problem.
And to put that resistance to say you can't come through us. And that tells you that there's a lot of work that they put in that team, and there's quality players in that team. So in the midfield, for instance, for the first time, I saw how aggressive they managed to interrupt our play.
Yeah.
And I said interrupt because they didn't do much. They just wanted to make sure that we play negative passes. And those negative passes, they work. If we have that rhythm, we get that rhythm. They didn't want us to have that rhythm.
No.
And that tells you that this is the stage
Yes.
in the tournament where now the big teams are there.
Yeah.
Then the small margins define the matches.
I was worried about the amount of hype media coverage about this game because it felt like a final before we even reached the final. I mean, the number of people on social media, I know that there are people who support local teams who are supporting the opposition, and I totally understand it.
They should.
Was this game that big of a game?
I think it starts with what Younger have been doing on the media coming into this game.
Yeah.
They've been hogging the headlines, they've been speaking everything but football, about how much they spend to come here and all those things, and how other teams should be involved in certain tournaments and all that stuff. So they've been very intentional about what they're trying to do. So they moved the pressure away from the players. So now they just hand it to Mamelodi Sundowns. They coming here to play one of the best teams. So they're playing modesty. But they were very smart in that regard. And you only realize once you're on the pitch the amount of work that has been put in there. So they knew that by winning the game they have to do things differently.
Yes.
Because you can't just come and play Mamelodi Sundowns pound for pound. We know.
Yes.
Go ask Al Ahly, they'll tell you can't play pound for pound. So it became one of those that, okay, Sharp, we know that if we can beat Mamelodi Sundowns, if we qualify, other teams after this, they don't play like Mamelodi Sundowns. So it's about resistance, about energy, and which is something that they're good at.
Yeah.
So we're the only team in the continent that play the way we play. And it's very difficult to find a pitch that is big as Loftus. True.
But this people
And we find our rhythm. Nobody can come out there. But they knew this is the game for them. And if they go all the way with this, the sky's the limit, as we say.
Yeah.
So I think it was one of those. But also it's I think for Rona, as much as it was very hyped up, I think for some of the guys it's the pressure that they need. It's the tension that they need. Because these are games, these are tournaments after winning, and you realize the things that you went through because you didn't take them for granted. You were concerned, you were nervous, you were this. Those are the things, because when you're sitting as players, those are the conversations you want to have. You don't always want to have the same conversation that we're dominating. I didn't feel tired because 80% of the time you had the ball. No. Guys, yesterday had to run. And you're playing a team that when they do have the ball,
they will hurt you.
They're threatening. Manga business.
Yeah.
We saw what happened. So we don't want to even talk about it more, but they were threatening going forward. And at some point you see Grantali one Komra. You know, and we normally would see Ronwen playing as a sweeper keeper.
Yes.
Not yesterday.
Not yesterday, because it was a different game. And I'm glad that those are the games that we need to encounter for us to actually propel and be able to win the final.
Maybe to add on what you say, maybe to add on what Duke was talking about, the hype of the match. I don't think really we're doing justice in this tournament to hype our matches. And I say hype because we're talking about two big teams in the continent. Younger, when you go to Dar es Salaam, you watch their derby when they're playing Simba. Problems. Big team. And they are coming here with a big tag to say we are a big team. And to face Mamelodi Sundowns at this stage, it tells you that these are big teams in the continent now. These are the teams that last season, Younger themselves, they managed to reach the finals of the Confederation. It wasn't by fluke. Look at the performances. They come out of the group, difficult group, to reach the stage where they are now. And that tells you that this is the level. As players, we always want to be tested in this level.
100%.
We know we're dominating here, but we want to be here with this level. Because the other day he spoke about after playing Spain, he was never the same.
Yes.
And players need that kind of a matches. Rightly so when you say, I don't want to have a conversation that I want to be tested. I want to be on a match thinking out of the box. If the tactics doesn't work,
what is it that I do?
As a player? What am I giving to the team? You know what I mean? And these are the matches where they will test you as a player. And you go home and be like, I was tested as a player when we play a team called Wydad.
Yeah, with that,
Yeah. When you're there, you know you're gonna think out of the box simply because they know the team very well. They know Mamelodi Sundowns. They know what Mamelodi Sundowns can do.
Yeah.
So they will try by all means to cancel you. So the limited minutes or the minutes that you're going to play in that 90 minutes will be lesser than 90 minutes, of course.
Yeah.
Simply because the things that you normally do on a match, they don't come out. They will cancel you. And the same when they have the ball. We want to make sure that they don't hurt us because we know they are players. So the Mamelodi Sundowns team, they found themselves in that space, unfortunately, or fortunately, because like you said, they are accessible. Not everyone wants to look how they do things, and it's there in black and white. We want to see that we know how they play the chameleon football, as you always put it. We want
on the hybrid pitch.
Hybrid pitch. Of course, they will want to make sure that they make it as difficult as possible. And remember, this team is well coached. And I say that because you see how they do stuff. You see how they channel Mamelodi Sundowns to the direction where they don't want to go. Then you understand that this team is well coached.
Yeah.
And it's getting difficult and interesting each match now. That it means in the next season in the Champions League we're gonna have coaches that will do their homework very, very well.
Yeah.
And that's our football. We want to take it there as a continent to say, okay, we're hyping our match. Okay, that's fine. Outside, we speak about 1, 2, 3 is going to happen. On the field, is it the product matching what the hype is saying? So I've got no doubt. The hype plus the match was well balanced.
Speaking on accessibility, we've seen Ronwen pull off some stunning saves at the Cup of Nations, and now he's brought that form as well to team and CAF Champions League. Amazing penalty saves once again.
Yeah, man. It's. I think that's one of the confidence that I had once I saw that the game is going for penalties.
Yeah.
Because I know the amount of work that the coaches would have done.
Yeah.
There's no detail that it's overlooked. And even after the first save, when they showed Coach Wendell, you could see excitement. You could see the conversation that has been had. So there's a lot of work that has been done, and I love such games where no details is overlooked. So everything is proper.
Funny enough, before I think the player's name is Azizi.
Azizi.
Took the penalty.
Steven Aziz Ki.
Yeah, Ronan stood in his goals, looked towards the bench, and pointed right.
Yeah.
And then Azizi went left,
Yeah.
and he still saved it.
But here's the thing, it's yes,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
But also once I don't want to give this secret away, and if I do, the Ronman will delay
Yes.
because you have a list. I would assume on the bench you have a list of penalty takers where they normally take, right? So then, because you want that information to come through to you as a goalkeeper, he was delaying going to the referee and have a conversation with the referee while you're still walking up. Then and possibly you on the bench, they're looking at that. So once you're there, then udlala the mind games, knowing he's going to go to the most favorable side. But I've always said, if in such big games, if we look at Hlompo's penalties, I won't look at Hlompo's penalties playing smaller teams. I look at Hlompo's penalties playing big games, big teams. That side, in that game, that's where he's going to go, because that's a safer side.
As former players, in terms of placing the penalty, we saw Neo Maema, we saw Alende go the top corner. Which one is, I use the word easier to execute, the top corner or the bottom corner?
I've got a penalty. I missed a lot of penalties, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because I had a different way of kicking the ball. And when I shoot, I used to use laces, big toe, and you name them. So because in that match, when I drive the ball, Tico will tell you, I used to be a master of 45, 50 passes, 50-yard passes. And it's a different technique altogether. And because you do it over, it's easier to memorize that. So when you go to the penalties with that same, adrenaline, don't give me a penalty. I'm going to miss it. Because in my head, when I'm here, I'm looking for a different technique. So that's why I missed a lot of penalties, because I got there and I'm like, this is my corner. But then the technique that I'm going to use there It's gonna be different. And it's gonna be like I'm gonna take a penalty as if I'm taking a free kick. And Tico knows the free kick. You know, I don't know. I have to explain to them. So if I use the side foot, mine is not a side foot. It's that big toe. It's like corner, and then if I don't hit it, I will always hit it properly. But then it means I need to find a corner.
Yeah.
If I don't go to a corner, the goalkeeper will save it. And if I hit it that hard, chances are it's going to go over the bar. Yeah. I had a problem with that. And there was a season where I was not taking free kicks. I remember when we were fighting, was it from 12 positions?
We're fighting relegation.
I used to take penalties easy. Because then I wasn't taking free kicks at the time. You were taking free kicks. So I don't have to confuse the technique.
It's amazing you guys say...
ask him about his penalties.
Yes.
He changes every time.
No, I change all the time.
Yeah. And I want to know why.
Because I always assume that people do their homework, like we did at Sundowns.
Yeah.
I never took that for granted, for the fact that we would sit 3 hours doing video session. I always thought maybe us, we a little bit of extreme, but other teams also, they're doing their homework because they have to do some sort of work for them to beat us. So when it comes to penalties, you find goalkeepers that gets excited. They move around a lot. You just wait for them to calm down a bit. But also, like, I used to ask too many questions. To your Kennedy, to your Dennis Onyango. I asked them, what's the difficulties of goalkeepers catching a penalty? So they'll tell me about their difficulties. So I'll use that also against the goalkeepers. But also, I need to understand the characteristics of the goalkeepers. Because goalkeepers, they're just shot stoppers. They don't do the basics right. Like, you can't go to Melenkune and be the first one to move. He's going to catch it because he's got athleticism, so he's able to move a little bit quicker and make those saves. And then you need to change your technique. Maybe a little bit lower, maybe with more power, because poster. You know. So, but I also I always say that penalties are only great if you actually hit the back of the net. If you don't, they're always bad penalties. So
do you look at the goalkeeper?
On my way.
No.
I'm looking at the goalkeeper.
Okay.
I'll look at the goalkeeper.
Place the ball?
Once I place the ball, there's no way.
I'm
not looking at I'm looking at the referee. I only look at the goalkeeper as I'm about to kick.
Talk to me about the pressure at that point. It's a cup final.
It's not nice.
It's not nice.
Don't even.
I don't care how many games we've played.
Yeah.
I don't care how many games we've played, and it's unfortunate because then we at Sundowns, we never had to
go to the penalties.
When there's a penalties, even in the game, there's always a list of penalty takers. So you can't just, hey, guys, I'm playing well, I need to take it. At times, you're the first penalty taker, you're not having a great game, so you have to go and kick the penalty.
Yep.
So the stress level, it's not nice at all, because then you have this heavy responsibility to put the ball in the back of the net.
You don't wish it to.
Because I know that I was always one of the guys on the list to take penalties. It was not nice.
There's times when you see players maybe Bashaya one step.
They are scared. The bottom line, he say, they are scared. It's just how if you score, you scored. But the fact of the matter is, you are scared. It's not a nice feeling to go there. Thabo Ntete used to be our penalty taker. Ricardo Nascimento used to be our penalty takers. And I once asked Ricardo, okay, I get so nervous going to take a penalty, even if it's a friendly match. How do you do that? He said, okay, for the fact that you are tired, you're scared, that's a good sign, but it's not a nice feeling. Because I'm surpassing so many emotions for me to go to take a penalty. It's not easy, it's not nice, but I know that you are expecting me to score. That's not a nice feeling.
There's a game, I think it was the beer cup, and we had the young boy from development come and take a penalty.
I remember that,
Aqalaga Vase. That confidence, does that mean then we are now in a new generation of guys who don't feel as much pressure or are that confident in their abilities?
It's always nice.
What's the age?
You have to. It's always nice when you're young.
You must understand when you're young, you're brave,
naive.
You lose the game tomorrow. It's fine. You keep it moving. Because also from where you're coming from a development, all that, you've been taught to keep it moving, right? But once you get to the matured stage, understanding the magnitude of the game, the responsibility that comes with winning, everything changes.
Yeah.
You realize that Moshambo is making a run. Once they close there, it becomes a problem. So your game changes.
Remember
your
Percy?
maturity towards the game. Pace.
Remember Percy?
Pace the same thing. Pace.
You once, let me steal your moment. You once spoke to Percy the other day. He dribbled everybody. And he didn't play a nice pass. They stopped the pass. Tico, on the channel as we were going to the change room, he called Percy. Percy, are you happy with that? He said, no, I wanted to. You know what he said to him? He said, it doesn't help for you to dribble everyone if the final product is not helping the team. And this is what the other players in South Africa, they keep doing, the mistake that they keep doing. You dribble 6 players.
Yeah.
The final pass, which is the most important
thing, then
you don't get it right. So what is the purpose of dribbling all the 6 players?
Makes no sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it goes back to the question to say a young boy come take a penalty with a skill and do with it. You are naive. I mean, you are young, 19-year-old. Go back to his point. You losing the match for them is just a picture.
Yeah.
I was playing. How can the people post that? But he doesn't know the repercussion of it. No, that they are huge. After the match, they are huge. He plays football to win all the time, and the 19-year-old he's playing to get a nice picture. And the responsibilities are different. And say, for instance, we lost the match, and we did the same mistake. And I'm 18, he's 32. The coach, when he shouted at us, the first person, he'll be like, Tico, you know better. You should know better.
Yeah.
He can't say, I mean, you should know better. I mean, from where? I'm playing development. We just know that there's play, even when it's not possible. Because we're training technique there. So the responsibilities are huge.
Yep.
Never mind my English, I'm so sorry. I was reading my dictionary.
Gentlemen, we move our focus to the DStv Premiership. We're playing Cape Town Spurs. Coach Middendorp makes me nervous. Extremely nervous.
Same here.
That man, no.
You know, if there's one of the coaches that has coached, foreign coach that has coached in the PSL for the last 10, 15 years that has been taken for granted, that's that coach. You look at the product, you look at the number of players that he's coached, how they play now. You look at the teams when he actually get things right, how those teams play. They're a very difficult team to beat. And he's got one mission now, to survive. And he's going to take every game as it comes to make sure that he survives. You cannot tell me that he wasn't studying Mamelodi Sundowns all this time. And being a coach of a tactician that he is, he's going to motivate his players because this is a game that you need to motivate your players. I mean, they lost against Swallows, which was a must-win for them. But also you look at how they lost. Last minutes of the game, one mistake, and then the quality of Mango be able to punish. But then again, you know that when you're playing Mamelodi Sundowns, those are moments that come every 3 minutes. So you need to be very, very focused. So it's going to be very difficult. But also it's a game as well that from emotional, it's going to test Mamelodi Sundowns in a sense that we understand, and it's not a secret anymore. Everybody can see that when we're no longer as fluid as we want to be, especially when we're changing players. There's certain players that makes us play better.
Yes.
There's certain players that makes us feel good as fans. There's certain players that when they're on the ball, everything comes down. So with all the qualities that they have, it's very difficult if within this season to have them, all of them on the pitch at the same time because of the amount of games. So therefore, Coach Middendorp is stressed with one thing. He doesn't know which Mamelodi Sundowns are going to come out of the bus to come and play. But also, your other stress is whoever that comes out of that bus, the quality.
It's ready.
It's ready. But then what we can use to our advantage is he's going to coach the team against the philosophy of Mamelodi Sundowns, the way of play. So which means comes back to what Shompo was saying. There's games where your quality, your individual quality needs to come up. And when things are a little bit tough, when things are a little bit tense, then how is it then that you do that is extra over and above what you've been coached? And I think we do have the players. We've shown that as well. And I think there's a time of the season where these are games that actually determine our season. You look at the previous game that we played against Richards Bay.
Yeah.
I also said, even after the game, I remember having a conversation in Machita Mangar. These are games after winning the league, you look back, like that was the game that actually won us the league.
Yes.
And I think also this one will be as important as Richards Bay. And don't think that you're not going to see what Richards Bay implemented. You're not going to see it. You're actually going to see it. So it's one of those things, too, and how then the players themselves that they're going to approach the game.
And what I like about that coach, the details.
He's a detail coach.
In his team. Every team that he coached, there's certain details that they make it difficult for players to play against. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see this time around what details are really going to apply on a match of this nature.
They adapt mid-game, change the formation. That guy is coaching. The level of detail is... And it's a quick thing that happens because one moment you're on top of them, the next moment, he's changed the entire way that he's set up his team, and now you're on the back foot.
And then on what you're saying, what we normally accustomed to in South Africa is coaches make changes.
Yes.
To change the system.
Change the system within
the player system. Yes, because that's why you'll see players normally that will see them playing as a right wing. All of a sudden plays the midfield. Win his games, and you're surprised, why is he playing in the midfield? Because he's a detail guy. He was playing, I remember there was a game that he was playing against Orlando Pirates. He take two attacking midfielders, wide players. He played them centrally. Bruh, they won the game. And those two boys that were playing in the midfield, they were actually on top of their game because what he explained after the game, he said, the reason why I play them in midfield is when they have the ball, their attacking mindset comes through. They don't just kick the ball. They'll drive in with the ball.
Yes.
I'm like... I hear you. You understand? And
but I didn't see that one.
But he's a coach that got the details and he focuses on details. So this is an interesting game. And I can't wait also just to see how the game is going to unfold.
I think for our side, it's important for our momentum that, one, we get goals in the back of the net. Looking at the Richards Bay game, we scored, in additional time. And, the goals all count. It doesn't matter when they come in. As long as the game is still on, all the goals count. But I think just for the confidence of the strikers, the confidence of the fans and so forth, we definitely need to see goals. Because I think in the last fixture we played them, we won 3-0.
I think it goes back to what Dick was speaking about.
Yeah.
So I speak about the Richards Bay's match. That you win such a difficult match. Winning the league, you remember those matches. And even in the preparation during the first match of the season, you count in those, the difficult ones. You know that Cape Town Spurs, your Richards Bay. Those are the difficult matches.
Because they're fighting for their lives.
And when you win against those matches, against those teams, that's why you win the league. And you're right when you say after winning such moments and such matches, looking back when you lift a trophy, it's not like I won against Al Ali or those big teams. No. Those ones, the difficult ones where you score in the 90th minute. It's not like Sundowns was playing bad on the day.
No.
They dominated the whole match. If you look at the numbers of touches, I'm sure you see Sundowns dominated that. But it's because it was difficult for Sundowns to score. It means then after winning that, the celebration after scoring that goal, you see that these boys, they really...
The relief, hey, finally.
But you need that to be tested that way, to say you deserve to win football matches. If you think you deserve, then you're making a mistake. You have to work for it. And when you work for it, then when you achieve your goals, then you deserve to celebrate. Yeah.
But also amazing is the unity in the team too. Against Richards Bay, when you saw the guys score, the whole bench went up. The guys who were sitting in the stands also went up. I think some of them wanted to fly down to on the ground. It's an amazing space to be in, I think, just as a player even.
I think also, right, Inez, and also the passion as well. It's nice because as footballers, we always want to be in a team that everybody feels important.
Yes.
And then when we win together, we celebrate together. You always want to be part of that.
Yeah.
And for that to happen, which means as a team, we need to create a safe space for everybody to express themselves fully. And I also believe that now that we're in this space where everybody feels important, not just by saying, everybody being given a chance to play. And understanding as well, there's going to be so many games. There's no way Shompa's going to play over 50 games in this season. And so everybody's going to be important. Everybody needs to be ready. And it's unfortunate at times when they're getting a chance, but they're still rusty a little bit. But what matters is in Sundowns is the way we play, the way we win. At times we're going to win difficult matches, not a Sundowns way, but they still mean a lot. And they still mean the same way as winning the Sundowns way. 100%. And you're rightfully saying, you look at the way that, not just that goal, you look at what everybody scores, the way people celebrate on the bench, on the corner there. It's insane. You look like, but Sundowns, you're so used to winning. No, it's a culture. It's a feeling that you want to have all the time.
For me personally, I love it because we come from a stage where people used to speak about how there was no unity in this team. There were so many camps and so forth. But to see the brotherhood, to see the guys all celebrating together, to say, even if I am not playing, but I'm still happy for you.
He's my brother.
And when you are playing and I'm not playing, I'm still happy for you. For me, that is amazing. It speaks about the strides that we have taken as a football team to get us to where we are. Gentlemen, what are your score predictions?
Mamelodi Sundowns is going to win 3-0 again.
I don't want to predict.
No.
I can't predict.
Coach Jerry even has a name for you because you are so good at these predictions.
I can't predict. I don't want to predict.
Before I start calling you the name Coach Jerry calls you, please can we have a prediction?
Nah, man. I
just say 2-0.
No, I think it's going to be a 1-0 game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be possibly maybe an early goal from Mamelodi Sundowns, but it's going to be a long day in the office.
Yeah. We're going to labor it out.
Of course.
You have to.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Pitchside Podcast. We are Masandawana. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us your comments. And please, let's continue to support the team. Everybody in Cape Town, head out to the stadium, Ruthless Gupu, celebrate the team, celebrate the guys. We need you. It is, we're entering the last stretch, and we're going to need everybody to come out and support the team. So please, come out to the games, and we will see you there. We are Sundowns all the time.